with how energy flows in the body and where we come and go from and where energy comes and goes from and things like that. So we also see that there's not only an X over the eye, she also has an X over her heart. Sort of like she's almost doing that Egyptian thing. And this is really significant because the chest is obviously where the heart chakra is. And so you often see in resurrection material, like in the Book of the Dead and in Masonic rites with the lion's paw, you often see an X. And again, it represents revival, resurrection, right? And in this video, you'll notice that Madonna does do a resurrection, and she is held up by her arms like she's on a cross. So when the heart is extremely important for us. You'll hear so many spiritual people, advanced and not advanced, talking about the heart. And you'll see great masters, like you'll see Jesus, and he has a sacred heart, and he's holding the heart there. He's showing the way out of here. He's showing the way out of pain, out of suffering, and the portal that we all must pass through, or the portal of our body that reconnects us with our higher self. And so when we fell into this density, we lost certain etheric bodies, certain perceptions, and we became denser and denser and denser. And the heart is actually the way back to regaining those etheric bodies and those perspectives. And so when you have an X over your heart, that's showing that you understand that. You understand, and that you're going to reconnect with spirit. You're going to be reborn consciously. There's a difference. You can be reborn in this life and in others unconsciously and go on a spiral of descension, which I see people doing, right? We all see people doing this. Or you can be reborn consciously. And you can understand, that you can understand your death process and your life process, higher energy, different etheric bodies. That's what the Egyptian Book of the Dead was about. There's so much around this that we can go into, but I don't want to make the videos like too long and too intense. But we also see the X. For me, I see it as connecting in with that heart energy, which also for us at this time in our cycle here connects with the Pleiades and Venus as well. But that information was lost thousands of years ago it was just lost thousands of years ago. So we also see the X around Ramses and Osiris, and that's saying they carry this Venusian Pleiadian energy, that lineage that they, so it's kind of like that Christ figure again that has the X over the heart and the resurrection and the understanding all of that. And so Madonna having this symbology doesn't surprise me, because she's actually very, very obsessed with Christian imagery. You'll see Madonna constantly using Christian imagery, and in this performance, she absolutely does it as well. So it wasn't shocking to see that, I guess, Yeah, so, and another thing that's very, very interesting is there's this sort of circular thing on Madonna's dress, and it looks like, to me, it looks like the Orphic egg, because there's a little bit of a serpent around it, and then you can see the serpent around the side. I haven't been able to find any close-up pictures of the design of the dress. There's kind of a sword on one side, and then there's this egg shape, and then there's a snake. It's almost like that symbol is the Orphic egg, and it's unwound. It's unwinding, rather than having the serpent winding around it, around the egg. So it represents creation. So rather than having creation flowing, it's unwinding, right? Which makes sense given the next song that she sings, which is about the future. And she says, not everyone's going to make it in the future. Not everyone is learning from the past. And so that kind of unwinding of the serpent around the Orphic egg could be very symbolic for her and what she's saying with this performance. So again, there's so much. I want to know what you guys noticed in the comment section. Let me know. Obviously, the 2 pillars that were being carried. I mean, she's on pillars as she descends, right? She descends down, and then she's got these pillars, right? So the new pillars come, and this is obviously very, kind of saying that, she's the high priestess. The high priestess is between the 2 JB pillars, obviously. So that was really, really symbolic as well. And yeah, the next question, number 3, was there any deities? I didn't see any deities at all. She was just using a lot of Christ and Christian imagery. But there was no deity. There wasn't any deity. Was there ritual wear? Yeah, there were actually monks, and her own outfit looked very monk-like and almost like a ritual cloak. So definitely. How did it make me feel? I would say that the performance made me feel, I think, suspicious. When somebody uses that much occult symbology in their performance, it was like too much. It's one thing if you use it here and there, but when it's so in your face, it was almost like desperate. It was very, very, very desperate. Very desperate to influence, very desperate to make a statement. Like, it wasn't eloquently done. Even at the end, when there's the Palestinian and Israeli flags together on the back, like, it was just so obvious and so in your face. And I tend to enjoy performances that are more like the content is so good that you're just taken away. But this was so, it was so desperate. Because of that, I got more of a chaotic energy, I think. It was also kind of like a mishmash. Sometimes the indicator of someone who's really, really good with occult is that you almost don't even know that it's being done until, have you guys ever watched a movie like that or done something where the occult symbolism is so well done that you don't even realize it's going on? This was the opposite of that for me, for my taste. I'm not a Madonna fan, to be honest, but it was too obvious for me. I'll just put it there. Was there music or was there movement? Yes, there was lots of movement. There was music. There was storytelling. A little creepy. Part of the storytelling was the gas masks, which reminded me of the Denver airport with all the children in the innocence in the gas masks, which is just like the people in the white dress or the innocents in the gas masks. So that was almost linking into a larger ritual. A lot of the times these performances that are done are not just performances, but they're part of larger rituals. So they're sort of rituals within rituals, and they're using the same symbology. And the gas mask kind of things with the flowers really reminded me of the Denver airport stuff. And so this performance was just incredibly occult, and I'm like dying to hear what you guys think about it. And the last questions are, was the person connected and influential? Yes, Madonna is very connected. She's very influential. And number 8, is it to create healing and growth, or is it to create chaos? You know what? This is my opinion, but I think that people planned this for her. I think that she is being told sort of the aesthetics to do, and then I think she kind of comes in and crafts it her own way. But I think the majority of this performance was crafted by her people. So There's a lot of reference to destruction. Obviously, you see America falling apart, you see explosions, you see fire. But then she ends it and there's unity. So it's difficult to say. I think that you won't find the answer to this in the song or in the motions of the performance, but I think you're going to find it in the people who have created it and in the hearts of those people. So yeah, that's it. Let me know what you think. There's also, she also did the performance at the Met Gallery in 2018. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave the link below, a little bit more information on this particular, what I believe is a ritual, a public ritual. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this.
Compre un tamaño king, reciba otro king gratis. Tamaño queen, compre uno, reciba otro queen gratis. Tamaños full of twin, compre uno, llévese el segundo gratis. Y otras grandes ofertas incluyendo Sealy, Serta, Beauty Rest y Tempur-Pedic. Durante el mes del bolso ahora